In the previous episodes of this series, we proved that the weak era took place between 2001 and 2007, and we also debunked the myth that Federer stopped all other players from succeeding. We showed that Federer's main rivals, Hewitt, Roddick and Safin, were inconsistent and often lost to low-ranked players. But Fed fans are kings of upside-down logic. Whenever they don't like the facts, they flip the argument on its head. According to them, the reason why Federer's main rivals and other top players of that time were inconsistent is not because they were weak, but because all the lower-ranked players were strong. As Federer fans claim, the entire field was strong. This ridiculous idea is called the strong field theory, and in this video, we are going to debunk it. Let's get into it. According to Fed fans, the period between 2001 and 2007 was a special time, because every man on planet Earth was better at tennis than in any other time in history. In this 7-year period, there were only 3 categories of players. The strong field, comprised of incredibly strong players who never won anything. The all-time greats, who didn't win much because the strong field held them back. And Superman, Roger Federer, who was so out of this world awesome that neither the strong field nor the greats of that time could challenge him. Based on this premise, the fact that Roger's main rivals have weaker statistics doesn't prove that his era was weak, it proves that it was strong. And by the same logic, the fact that top players from the Djokovic era have much better stats doesn't prove that it was a strong era, it proves that it was weak. Now, before you call them stupid, give some credit to the proponents of the strong field theory. You see, they don't really believe in it. Nobody is that dumb. What they are really trying to do is disprove the existence of the weak era by proposing an alternative explanation that is impossible to verify. Unfortunately for them, there are 2 easy ways to disprove the strong field theory. The first is the rise of Nadal, Djokovic and Murray. If the entire field was so strong that it would hold back all top players of that time, how come it couldn't hold back 3 teenagers? By 2005, Nadal won his first slam and was ranked number 2 in the world. He was only 19. Djokovic and Murray made their Grand Slam debuts in 2005, and just a year later, they were both in top 20, also at just 19 years of age. By the end of 2007, Djokovic already climbed to number 3 in the world, and Murray to number 11. And it wasn't only Nadal, Djokovic and Murray who rose to the top through the supposedly strong field. By the end of 2008, there were 11 Djokovic-era players in the top 20. If the entire field was strong, how come Djokovic-era players cut through it like a hot knife through butter while most of them were still in their early 20s? Meanwhile, Hewitt, Roddick and Safin were all falling behind in rankings. By 2007, Hewitt and Safin already fell out of top 20. And by 2008, there were 5 Djokovic-era players ahead of Roddick. Nalbandian, another supposed assassin from Federer era, has 6 new generation players ahead of him. And look at their ages. All Federer era players were in their prime, including Federer. Yet the younger players were surpassing them, and not just in the rankings. By the end of 2008, Djokovic, Nadal and Murray already had 14 big titles, only 4 less than Roddick, Hewitt and Safin. And this is not even counting Nadal's 12 clay titles. The strong field theory doesn't work. As always, all the evidence points to the contrary, that between 2001 and 2007 was indeed a weak era, and that the new generation, led by Djokovic, Nadal and Murray, was simply better. Another problem with the strong field theory is the idea that nobody could beat Federer because he was playing on some incredible level. In Grand Slams between 2001 and 2007, Federer boasted a 5-0 record against Hewitt, 6-0 against Roddick and 2-1 against Safin. The 3 supposed greats combined for 1 win and 13 losses against Federer, giving rise to the myth that Roger was unbeatable in his prime. The only problem is that nobody told the kids that Roger was unbeatable. Djokovic, Nadal and Murray played 22 matches against Federer in the weak era. and they combined for 10 wins and 12 losses. All those matches took place in Federer's golden age, between 2004 and 2007. In the same time span, Roddick, Hewitt and Safin combined for 1 win and 26 losses. Fed fans will jump on the fact that Nadal mostly beat Federer on clay, but even if we omit Nadal's wins on clay, the kids still have a much better record. Yet more evidence that the kids were tougher opponents for Federer is the percentage of sets won against him. Djokovic had only 1 win and 5 losses against Federer, but he won more sets than Roddick and Hewitt, which proves that even when losing, he was putting up a better fight. Even aging Agassi, who retired in 2006, won more sets against Federer than Roddick and Hewitt. And there is a ton more proof that Federer was not unbeatable. Nadal started his rivalry against Roger with 6 wins and only 1 loss, including a winning record on hardcourts. Murray won 6 of his first 8 matches against Roger. And Djokovic, in 2008, at only 20 years of age, did what Hewitt and Roddick could not do in their entire careers: beat Federer in a Grand Slam. Novak beat Federer in straight sets in the semi-final of Australian Open and went on to win the title. Fed fans' favorite excuse for his losing record against Djokovic and Nadal is that he got old. But in January of 2008, when a 20-year-old Djokovic convincingly beat him in Australian Open, Roger was only 26. By 2009, when Roger was only 28, Nadal, Djokovic and Del Potro all beat him in slams and went on to win the titles. What happened to Superman? There never was a Superman. There was only a great player without any great rivals. The strong field theory may be the most creative of all Federer fans' excuses. But like every other excuse that they've invented over the years, when put to the test, it ends up proving the opposite of what they wanted. Fed fans are not doing themselves any favors by indulging in such silly theories. Roger Federer is not the greatest tennis player of all time. He is the second greatest. His fans should accept this fact with dignity. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon.